Hello and welcome to the Crypto Day Morning. Today's date comes in that of Wednesday, 23rd of January 2018. All bets trades of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. Taking a look at Bitcoin, a few altcoins including Litecoin in this video. I'm going to talk about Cryptopia and the hack that has went on there, as well as what's been going on over the last 7 days. And I got two NHL selections for tonight at the conclusion of this video. When starting off within Bitcoin, I really only feel like talking about this time frame of the single hour. We had this event yesterday morning with the selling that occurred, bringing it really fast, and I was stating that this could be interesting, that has the potential to really just do not much more then bring it up to the next key points, which is 3,741 as upper resistance levels. And it hasn't even done much, but it has continued a positive outlook or setup as it managed at the 1400 hours to make this high, looking as a successful correctionary move, and at this point within the single hour trying to have a move above it. I like how this green candle has transpired into this nice little sideways one, about 1/3 into the period so far. So definitely a decent, okay look for possible gains today, but just decent at best, I would think. Let's transition next onto Litecoin, crossed against that of Bitcoin within the weekly term. And the Coinbase adding of Litecoin back in the spring of 2017, or almost 2 years ago. Seeing the price in here go from 0.003 up to 0.02, or about a 7x move, and some up and down choppy action since this decline. Price stayed below this 18 average, resisted the band in here a little bit, but all it was able to do was barely make a low in here. Really, continuation test of this area matched up with this one as well. Since that point, it has managed to get above the 18 average of highs. Red candle down back to the 18, up to that same point. Consolidating pretty okay at this level, but its progression when you have band declining at a decent rate of descent, band flattening out, and now the band is barely starting to rise. Therefore, within the correction, and because of the correction, getting out above here, very, very good mathematical probability of what probably would be a very decent size gain moving forward. Taking a look at this on the daily term next. Taking a look at this last little rally. Short term, this was a big level of resistance that it got above. This was the neckline to the inverted head and shoulders pattern. And the recent correctionary move is where it found support amongst such after establishing this level of resistance. Several a days has been going by supporting this level, and as we're looking at this, a move right now up towards here, nothing majorly to get excited about, but it does tell me that if it is able to continuation further, maybe get up to about the 917, 922-ish area, that it would be a clear break above this level of resistance, clear break above the 18 highs, and the possibility to have a test of this previous high, and okay or great, or at least a decent chance, if not better, of breaking it if it gets there. Thus, if it breaks this level of resistance, I would expect a decent sized leg higher. And when we look at this on a 4-hour term time frame, here was a spot where it managed to get above the 18, but it was a spot where it should have went, you might say, but it didn't. However, it did successfully correct. And lately it's been showing a lot of strength amongst the 18 average of highs. The previous 4-hour period, decent size move higher. And okay, red down, but still holding very well. So this period might be, or the previous one before that is, might be stating that there could be some good periods coming up over the next 4, 5, 8, 10, or the next couple of days. Let's continue on within AID. I haven't traded this in the last day and change. And nice move how it's looking on the 18. Things have changed. So instead of supporting in this area, resisting in this area, it has supported in this general point in here after establishing a much higher level of resistance. And then from this low, it has already had a nice little move here, a comeback move. I like how this 18 starting to rise its band. Thus, I really, really would like to see this area hold the 18 lows as its bottom, if of course there's going to be further selling. And also within such, because there's been pretty decent correctionary moves, we've had this test days ago and this one the previous day, that because of a couple nice sell-offs and just stalling of the uptrend, that resumption of going higher prices, we could be talking about making a move not only to this high and maybe staying there or staying in that area there, maybe coming down to like something like this, like in this whatever area, just stable or congesting in this area is another way of putting it. Or I could even, of course, easily take it out and have a decent sized gain because of the way that the last several days have moved, showing the possible in the reversal of trend. 4-hour term time frame, this thing is really just chugging along over the last several of periods, and multiple tests of this level of resistance area in here. This is going to be interesting because amongst the same thing, and I didn't mean to move that back, I meant to push this button here. This is what I used to draw with. This draws lines, and this is what I need to pretty much eliminate the drawing tool. So I would go like this, draw, and then if I wanted to do something else, I'd go like that. Then I can, yeah. But anyway, ascending triangle, multiple hit of resistance. This thing has got very interesting possibilities moving forward. It has breaking out above it, high likelihood of interesting, decent sized gains moving forward. Let's move on next to that of loop ring. And on this one here, I talked about it yesterday. I put these lines in before this event happened. It was in yesterday morning's video, or it was definitely right around in here, as I was mentioning, getting above this level of resistance. And I'm glad this happened, at least for demonstration purposes. I'm hoping that nobody got trapped out too badly on this. It was barely starting to be a clear level of break of resistance in here. So it was looking at that time, oh, this thing is ready to go. So it's a type of spot where I can see how you could have bought right at this top. And there's also a decent chance you were close. I'm thinking, okay, it goes up to 30. If I can buy good at, say, 30.41, I'm in. And it wouldn't have done that, but it was one of those ones where if I'm looking to break on a level of resistance, that's really in that general area. And since then, it has obviously started to have its move lower. And amongst the line below at 2007, that was the big level of resistance that it had taken out. So if we look at it more clearly and say do so on a daily term, and I'm going to have to adjust the scaling on this, it's came a long, long ways, and this level of previous resistance coincides in here. And really it's about 18 3/4. That's the type of, I would be expecting, if we're not going to be going up any further, that it's going to be going there. As a trader, I don't like the idea of buying at around 23 or 22, 21 and change, when I realize I could probably get in about 18 high change. And if I want to buy conservatively, I'll buy pretty much around where this number states, a hair above the 20 handle, which is a conservative buy to this level, because I'd be thinking it's going to be going down to here. But when I get too fancy, oftentimes I'm like, okay, I want to buy when it comes back down here, say at 18.06. It's more common for me to totally miss out on a move that might go to like 18.15 and just miss it, compared to, of course, that of the buy at 20. Of course, that's regarding within my trading, and the fact that when I see a move have one leg higher from here to here, if that's it for the leg higher, I don't think that the higher low is going to be in here. But if it does higher low here and just goes up, for me, if I sold up at this top part, which I did, I'll just be ready to sell again at, well, I sold at, say, 29, at 34 or 37 or 36 or whichever decent leg level up from that. Let's look on next to red coin. And it's been in the sideways range for quite some time, as it was in a declining mode from early October. down to late November, right around U.S. Thanksgiving. And from U.S. Thanksgiving until today, it has just managed to go in a sideways range, mainly between 32 and 35 Satoshi. Right now, we're at 42 up to about 45, so it's broken out above this level of resistance. One of the things I look at, high divided by low, to the exponent of 0.382 as well as 0.618 as the key ones, key Fibonacci. I'm not going to calculate it, but this is an interesting one because I cannot sell this right now because I have no access to get it. The only red coin that I've been owning are currently on Cryptopia for myself, and that site's been down for over 1 week as there has been a lot of different frauds that have went on. When we take a look at the Cryptopia webpage, it's been showing this type of look for the last week or so. Their Twitter hasn't been updated in 7 days, January 16th being the last, and they're updating with police reports. When I do a Google search of Cryptopia police, some of the headlines, and I read this yesterday on my cell phone, and this was nice to read, but I'm seeing that they're making good progress amongst the heist. And the number, which was always speculation in the early stages, early on, you thought it was just a few million, like 5 or 6. And then it looked like the number was 13. Well, it's 23 million that was stolen, I guess you could say. Stolen right here from the Christchurch firm in New Zealand. And that's the main reason why I decided, okay, do I feel safe enough trading amongst Cryptopia, thus having funds on there? And the biggest thing was they are a quote-unquote company. Thus, it's not like Yobit in Russia where even the Russian authorities are trying to get after them. Those ones really do scare me large. And it's a scary feeling just within these markets as a whole as it is. But as they are that of a registered company, the authorities have been coming into play, that I'm still very optimistic and that in a reasonable amount of time that I will be able to have access to basically all my funds. I don't know what about haircut situation, if there's going to be any losses. I don't own any Ethereum or really anything of the bunch. Maybe one of my altcoins might be an ERC20 that I own, and there's about 12, maybe 15 different coins that I have, and I don't even think any of them are ERC20s. But I do think in time that it's going to work out, but it's definitely risky, and we're seeing situations that your funds can be held. This can happen on so many different fronts when you don't own in physical possession of what you quote unquote own. And that will be completo it for the crypto analyses. Let's now go on to pucks and hockey. This is the final day of the NHL official halfway point, as there's a day off tomorrow. Friday night is the skills competition. I'm going to be hoping, I don't know what kind of edge I would have on the skills competition. Austin Matthews is going to, if he's in the accuracy, he's probably pretty accurate, although he's been not playing as good lately. And then Saturday is the All-Star Games. There's 3 of them. And in the 3 sports of baseball, hockey, and basketball, when the All-Star Game comes in, I really throw away streaks big time. At least the short-term ones. They really go down the toilet. Anybody who was really hot or really cold leaving the All-Star Game, I'm not wanting to give it much precedence, as I've seen so many streaks change post such. And for the first week or so leaving the All-Star Game, I'm more careful, or I'm going to go more base simple, which is mainly going to be home teams to win by 2, and so on and so forth in that direction. As far as tonight is concerned, I like 2 plays. First one is the Vegas Golden Knights laying a goal and a half and getting barely over 2-1 odds against the Nashville Predators. 13 of the 16 home victories for Vegas is by 2 goals or more. So they're getting the empty nets when they need to. Only 3 times has it been that single win victory. And even more than half their games, period, 13 of 24 at home, are giving me what a 2-to-1 price. Vegas is a really good team. However, Vegas and Nashville are sharing very much recent streaks, as Vegas has won 2 of the last 5, but they were 9-3 before that, or they had a 7-game winning streak. So a 7-game winning streak has fallen to 2-3. Nashville is 2-4 straight up in their last 6, 7-5 before that. So they were 5-1, and that streak is over. I think Vegas is a better team as it is anyway. Nashville's very interesting when you look at their road games from start to current. Their first 8 games they won outright on the road. And then they lost 3 in a row, all by 1 goal, from November 12th to 15th. And then over the next month, they lost another 7 consecutive games. So they won 8, then lost 10 in a row on the road. And they've only lost 5 games by 2 goals or more. But it really isn't so much on a play against Nashville as it is a play on Vegas. But nothing is screaming out to me that Nashville is magnificent by any means. I'm also going to be playing on the Canucks, laying a goal and a half at plus 230 was the best price I could find. I only got 2 places of my 2 sports books. Vancouver, 8 wins and 16 losses as a 1.5 goal favorite at home, 1/3 of the time. So plus 200 is fair odds on that. And Carolina, this is really bad on their end. They've only covered the plus 1.5 on the road half the time. If I can say, oh, I got 50-50 chance of winning plus 230, that's like the best bet in the world, or it's an amazing one. It's not 50% I win, it's lower than that. But at plus 200, it's 33%. Or 33% likelihood you need at least that price. I think it's greater than 33% that they win. Therefore, fair price has got to be south of such. Plus 180, plus 185, I would think. So therefore, to get plus 230 on something that I think should be significantly lower than that, well, that's where I'm going to be going. And there's a good chance that on the first 6, 7, 8 days leaving the All-Star break, plays will be just like this, mainly just laying a goal and a half on home teams if I like their spot. I don't see many other situations that look probable. Like, yeah, that's what I want to bet on. Okay, so that will be that. Super Bowl is coming up the week after that, but I'll be looking at proposition bets, but I will not be looking for a week. I'll be taking, won't even need to look at it, let the lines surface next week for such. So thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.